Okay. So just as a parent, there are certain things that God, as our almighty Father, our eternal Father, our heavenly Father, that he does not want us to touch and dabble in. And we know that people are still doing that this day. People are still eating from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, which is the demonic realm, witchcraft. Okay. All forms of wickedness and evil, as I mentioned before, to prosper. You know what I mean? And once we decided to receive that knowledge, Adam and Eve, once we decided to open up those portals and open up that spiritual realm that God forbade us to, and that people are still opening up to this day in the demonic, once we decided to believe the serpent and open up that demonic portal, that door, that's when all hell broke loose, because there's certain things that God does not want us to touch. Okay, there's certain things that God does not want us to know or to have access to, not because he wants to be mean, as the serpent said, that, oh, God just doesn't want you to know what he knows or be like him. That's the lie of the devil from the pits of hell. Okay. And so God gave us the life, the ultimate life, and he only had one requirement: don't eat from that tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And we couldn't just obey that one thing. Everything would have been great for humanity. It would have continued to be excellent and great if we would have followed that rule. But because we decided to disobey and eat off that tree, and people are still doing that to this day, we have opened up the demonic portals that has wreaked havoc on humanity. Okay? And now people are operating in idolatry, because now they don't serve God anymore. They serve the demonic and idols, thinking that idol worship is going to give them wealth and prosperity, when it all comes from God, and staying within his confines of the Garden of Eden and not touching the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. So again, as a perfect parent tells their child, hey, don't touch this. I don't want you to touch this. You can have everything else, but just don't touch this, because they understand what can happen if their child touches something, right, that they're not supposed to. And so God understood, once we opened that realm, once we opened that door to the demonic, he understood what could happen to us.